Ancient Greek Wisdom in Overcoming Childhood Trauma. Introduction: Ancient Greek Wisdom for Modern Healing. Even though the ancient Greek philosophers didn't have knowledge or access to modern psychological theory and techniques such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, EMDR, for overcoming childhood trauma, there is still much wisdom we can draw from the ancients. These wise thinkers explored the depths of human nature, offering timeless wisdom on the pursuit of a good life, inner peace, and resilience. While they may not have addressed trauma in the terms we use today, their philosophical frameworks provide a rich source of guidance for overcoming the challenges we face. Socrates. The power of self-knowledge and reflection. Let us begin with Socrates, who emphasized the importance of self-knowledge and introspection. He believed that the key to a meaningful life was understanding oneself, an idea that resonates deeply when we consider the impact of childhood trauma. Trauma can cloud our sense of self, making it difficult to navigate our emotions, reactions, and decisions. Yet Socrates would urge us to engage in self-reflection, to dive deep into our minds and souls to understand how our past experiences have shaped our present selves. The Socratic method of engaging in dialogue, asking probing questions, and exploring our inner thoughts can be a powerful tool for healing. Trauma survivors may find solace in discussing their experiences with trusted friends, therapists, or mentors who can help them unravel the complex emotions tied to their past. Through these conversations, we can gain new insights, challenge distorted beliefs, and begin to transform. Socrates teaches us that self-awareness is the first step toward healing, as it helps us to reclaim the parts of ourselves that trauma may have overshadowed. Plato. Moving beyond shadows and seeking higher truths. Plato, a student of Socrates, expands on the idea of self-discovery by encouraging us to seek higher truths. In his famous Allegory of the Cave, Plato describes how most of us live in a world of shadows, only perceiving illusions of reality. For those of us healing from childhood trauma, this allegory is especially poignant. Trauma can trap us in a metaphorical cave where we are haunted by distorted perceptions of ourselves and the world around us. These shadows of fear, anger, shame can hold us back from healing. Plato invites us to turn away from the shadows of our past and seek the light of truth. This light represents the higher reality of our potential, the possibility of living a life not defined by trauma, but by wisdom, love, and understanding. Plato's journey out of the cave mirrors the healing journey. It is difficult and it requires courage, but it ultimately leads to clarity, freedom, and a deeper connection to our true selves. In this process, education and self-improvement are key. Plato would remind us that by expanding our knowledge, engaging in creative expression, and cultivating wisdom, we move closer to the higher ideals that can guide us out of darkness. Aristotle, flourishing through virtue and balance. Aristotle, Plato's disciple, offers another powerful lens through which to view healing. His concept of eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing, invites us to a path forward from trauma. For Aristotle, a fulfilling life is one lived in accordance with virtue, where individuals cultivate their potential and live meaningfully. In the context of overcoming trauma, this philosophy encourages us to focus not just on surviving, but on thriving. Aristotle's notion of the golden mean is particularly valuable here. He advocates for balance in all things, suggesting that we must avoid extremes and find a middle path in our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Trauma can sometimes push us toward extremes, whether in emotional reactions, avoidance, or coping mechanisms. Aristotle would encourage us to strive for temperance, cultivating emotional resilience and self-control. By practicing virtues such as courage, patience, and compassion, we can begin to reshape our lives, creating healthier patterns and ultimately achieving a state of flourishing. One of Aristotle's most profound teachings is the idea that virtue is a habit, something we develop through practice. Healing from trauma requires consistent effort and intentionality. Just as a runner builds endurance through training, trauma survivors build emotional resilience by repeatedly choosing to confront fears, regulate emotions, and respond to challenges with courage. Aristotle's wisdom reminds us that healing is not a passive process. It is an active, ongoing practice of nurturing our best selves. Epictetus, the Stoic principle of control. The Stoic philosophers, particularly Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, offer further insight into resilience, an essential quality for anyone seeking to overcome trauma. The Stoics emphasized focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot, a principle known as the dichotomy of control. Trauma often leaves us feeling powerless, overwhelmed by the weight of past events that we cannot change. Yet Epictetus teaches us that while we cannot control the past, we have full control over how we respond to it in the present. This Stoic approach encourages us to shift our focus from external circumstances, the past trauma itself, to our inner world, our present thoughts, attitudes, and choices. By doing so, we can find peace even in the midst of pain. Epictetus would remind us that the healing journey begins when we stop fighting what we cannot control and instead channel our energy into cultivating strength, wisdom, and inner peace. Marcus Aurelius, Strength Through Adversity and Journaling. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, echoes this sentiment in his Meditations, a collection of personal writings that offer practical advice on maintaining composure and strength in adversity. Marcus Aurelius believed that suffering and challenges, including trauma, could be transformed into opportunities for personal growth. He would encourage us to view our trauma not as a defining tragedy, but as a catalyst for becoming stronger, more compassionate, and wiser. One of the practices Marcus Aurelius embraced was journaling, a method of self-reflection that can be profoundly healing for trauma survivors. Writing about our experiences, emotions, and thoughts allows us to process them, gain clarity, and release the burdens we carry. This simple practice can become a powerful tool for healing, helping us to integrate our past into a coherent narrative that supports our growth. Epicurus, the healing power of community and simple joys. The teachings of Epicurus, another influential philosopher, offer yet another dimension to healing from trauma, one centered on community and the pursuit of simple joys. Epicurus believed that the path to happiness lay in cultivating meaningful relationships and enjoying the small, everyday pleasures of life. Trauma often isolates individuals, making it difficult to connect with others or find joy in life's simple moments. Yet, Epicurus would urge us to seek out supportive friendships and create a life filled with moments of peace and contentment. For trauma survivors, the power of community cannot be overstated. Though many survivors tend to self-isolate, ultimate healing does not happen in isolation. Surrounding ourselves with empathetic, understanding individuals, whether friends, support groups, or therapists, can provide the safety and connection we need to heal. Epicurus's philosophy encourages us to nurture these relationships and to focus on the present moment, finding healing in small, mindful acts of self-care and joy. Epilogue, a timeless path to overcoming trauma. The ancient Greek philosophers offer a timeless reservoir of wisdom that can guide us on our journey to overcome childhood trauma. Socrates' emphasis on self-knowledge, Plato's pursuit of higher truths, Aristotle's vision of flourishing, the Stoics' focus on resilience and control, and Epicurus's celebration of community and simple joys all provide valuable insights for personal healing. Some modern therapeutic approaches, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, draw inspiration from ancient Greek philosophy. CBT focuses on identifying and challenging negative thought patterns, similar to the Stoic emphasis on controlling one's thoughts. MBSR emphasizes mindfulness and acceptance, which aligns with the Stoic and Epicurean approaches. By integrating these ancient teachings with modern therapeutic approaches, we can embark on a holistic path to recovery, finding strength, wisdom, and peace along the way. These timeless principles remind us that while trauma may have shaped our past, it does not have to define our future. Healing is possible, and with the right tools, we can move toward a life of flourishing, meaning, and inner harmony.